Me and
All
both. I
right.
don't know which one to look at, man.
I got the. All right, that's cool. All right, we good to go. We live on every thing now. Let's see. I'm gonna do this for you real quick. And we're gonna I gotta represent you properly on my end.
I
You know,
appreciate that, bro.
we got that this late night joint, but you know, people still be up. You know what I'm saying? People coming in now. People be up, man. You know what I'm saying? To some people, it ain't even late. You know, you got people on the other sides of the country, all that good stuff. So
Word.
late to us ain't late to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And and if they miss it tonight, it's gonna be recorded so they can get it tomorrow
Yep, yep. Well,
or whenever, you know.
technically, yeah,
Hmm.
technically, right after we done,
Mm.
they're gonna be able to get it because I want to send it over to you, so we can both share it.
Instagram look real good compared to the other joint.
Yeah,
Yo, I see my
yeah.
cousin in the house. Said Mac, what up, said? I see you. I
There
see
we
you.
go. There we go. There we go. So we are back with another edition of the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. We are here to uplift humanity. In addition, we are here to help awaken the woolly haired, melanated beings that have been asleep for a very long time now are starting out, relatively speaking, of course, and are starting to wake up slowly but surely, and because of good brothers like Kev and this beautiful music that he's been putting out to the atmosphere. So, we'll get to him in a minute. Don't try to take the start off too quick. I'm gonna so, so, yeah, if you haven't already, please pick up Bicultural Living and Leaving the World of Illusion. Um, if you have ever questions about why I am so diverse in the different things I do, the book explains it all. My story explains it. That's it for me. That's all I'm going to say. Um, I'm going to let this man right here, Amun-Ra, go ahead and introduce himself. And go ahead, brother.
First of all, congrats on the book, man. I wasn't aware, man. That's major
Oh,
right there. I got. They
I
save me a
appreciate that.
copy, man. I got to get a copy, right?
Indeed,
Save me
definitely.
one. All right.
Hmm.
For those that don't know, I'm known to the hip hop world as Amun-Ra, which translates as the hidden life force or the hidden light. To everybody else, my family, I'm known as Cedric Huff. You know what I mean? Born and raised in the classic city, is what they like to call it, Athens, Georgia, and that's about 60 miles northeast of Atlanta. And for all you sports fans, that's the home of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Then dogs.
I'm not a big fan of the Bulldogs, but yeah, go Dogs. You've been down here before. You've been here before, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been going crazy down there in Georgia, in Athens, boy.
On them football nights, true indeed.
Oof.
So Zoza, what you want to know, man? What you talk to me? What I need?
Well, no,
What we doing?
keep on. That's all you wanted to tell the people about yourself?
Oh no, no, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, keep on going, man.
I'm known as an artist. I call myself a metaphysical artist. I create conscious hip hop to enlighten specifically people of color.
Hmm.
And I say people of color because our people, we've been lied to the most, and we are the
Hmm.
originals and the indigenous people on the planet. And for things to get better, we have to get ourselves together. We have to remember who we are before we even can go out into the world and deal with other races and try to heal the planet. You follow what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So my purpose is to create music to what they call activate your DNA, because
Hmm.
within everyone, all the wisdom and knowledge of the universe is within you in your DNA. You follow? Your DNA goes all the way back to the beginning of creation, if there's a such a thing. You follow what I'm saying? So my
Hmm.
music uh awakens or activates your DNA to help you remember who you are and to help you remember that ancient wisdom and to help you remember our ancient ways, our ancient culture before we were introduced or invaded by those negative forces, I would say, those
Hmm.
melanin recessive beings. You
Hmm.
follow what I'm saying? And even prior
Hmm.
before them, before the black devils hit, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or we can't forget that. You
Don't
can't
forget them.
the
They're the
first
original devils.
being that we are the original, so the first devils came out of us. You follow what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
here to help break the chains of all of that from all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like other brothers like me. I'm not the only one. You know, it's just like it's a lot of us out here. Well, not many,
Hmm.
but 144,000 of us. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, all right, I hear you. So, okay, so all right, Athens, Georgia, man. I've gone over there. I know. from being living in Atlanta for 20 years, I know that
Mm.
it's a little different from Atlanta. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? Yeah, it's a little different from Atlanta. And you said you grew up there, right?
born and raised, man. It's
Okay.
24% melanated and like 70 some percent non-melanated and everything else
Mm.
between. So you already know what that is. And that's
Yeah,
basically that's besides outside of Atlanta, all the counties are basically like that, the little
yeah,
towns.
yeah,
But due to the University of Georgia, it's a little more liberal here because
yeah.
of the different energies that come throughout here, right? But
Hmm.
you still got that underlying racism and that blatant racism that still
Yeah,
exists to this very day.
yeah. People on this until you watch like the politics and you see the races and you see a map and then you see red in certain areas all over the place and blue in certain areas. That's because what the brother's talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
yeah, you get outside of Atlanta, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm
It's a
saying? Than
lot
what you
different.
see. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot
A lot
different.
different. Let's keep it real. It's a lot
But
different.
I will say about Athens though, it's a little different because again the UGA, so the energy is a little different. You can find some metaphysics, you can find some conscious people.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
anything you can find in a major city, you can find it right here in Athens, man.
Yeah,
From good
yeah,
to
yeah.
bad. Now, it's probably like that everywhere, but you can find that here too. They call it
I
L.A.
never
Little Athens, little
Little
Atlanta.
Athens,
You know what I'm
Little
saying?
Atlanta. I never had a negative experience in Athens all the time I've been up there. Because we used to play shows and Moon 9. We used to play shows up there a
Right.
lot. I guess because it was it is Athens and it's a college town, so like you said, it's a little different. But so tell me about growing up in Athens. You know what I'm saying? How was it growing up there?
Oh, hold on, my sounds went down. Hold on 1 second. Please forgive me. We're live, y'all. Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
But I can't hear you. Okay, here it is. Boom.
Yeah, can you hear
All
me?
right, I'm back in effect.
All
Okay.
right, so go
Um.
ahead.
Well, I was born in 1972, right? So I'm 50. I'm a year older than hip hop. You follow what I'm saying? Athens is southeast, so we're still on the East Coast.
Hmm.
So we was getting that hip hop music probably like a month or two after it hit. We still getting everything because we're on the East Coast. But
Hmm.
growing up here, like I said, it's pretty liberal for a southern town.
Hmm.
Um, good place to raise children in. I grew up. I turned out okay. The
Hmm.
racism that I did experience, my parents had already schooled me on how to navigate through all of that, so that really
Hmm.
didn't pose a big problem for me. I really didn't even realize it really until I was 16. You know what I'm saying? I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and it was like, and I started noticing everything. You follow
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? But
Hmm.
besides that, it was cool, man. I was raised in like in a two-parent home. My parents married. They've been married for 50 years now.
Hmm.
Um, we, I would say I wouldn't say we I wouldn't say we were middle class, but I always got what I needed, what I wanted.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? To
yeah,
me,
yeah.
everything was good. Um, two sides of town, the west side and the east side, basically. And the,
Hmm.
um, and and the west side, the east side always had beef with each other. It's crazy, man. It's like tribal, I guess, because our people are tribal, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It was
yeah.
beef, and I'm from the west side. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Hmm.
everybody on the west side, baby. Y'all know what it is. Piece of the east side too, man. Athens so small, man. Basically, everybody related anyway. Some kind
Yeah,
of ways,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it- it's like 3 degrees of separation, not six. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's about it, man. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school. Went to Clark Central, graduated, and I attended Clark Atlanta University. So I got a pretty good enough education to make it a
Hmm.
college. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was cool. A big heavy sports town, man. Basically, that's what it was. That
Yeah,
was growing
yeah,
up here,
yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. And so how were you introduced to hip hop?
Okay. My father,
Hmm.
Pop Dukes, piece of my dad, Willie. They call him Red. What up, Red? Huff's Barbershop. Y'all know about Huff's Barbershop. Yeah, man. He was in this like this, again the '70s. He loved music. He always had a
Hmm.
stereo system at the crib. Him and my
Hmm.
mom loved music, so it was always playing music in the house all the time. So, but I think the first song it was not Sugar. I was about to say Sugar Delight with the Sugar's Hill
Sugar
Gang.
Hill. Yeah.
Um, what's the Delight song called? The
Hmm.
first song they
Hmm.
did.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm
Um,
going blank.
I know you're talking about
Rapper's Delight.
Rappers Delight. Yeah.
He bought the 12 inch. My
Gotcha.
dad, so he bought the 12 inch and brought it to the crib, and I fell in love with it, man. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow. Then after that, the message came out, but
Mm.
Grandmaster Flat, he bought that
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it was a little 45, but I had a little cassette deck, a little red cassette deck they bought me one Christmas, and I had recorded it on tape, had it on tape, and I just play that everywhere. I memorized the lyrics to that song and everything. From there, I just started researching music myself. Started listening to it, then the Fat Boys, Run DMC,
Mhm.
Africa Bambaataa, all of that. It was on the radio. Again, we
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
60 miles outside of Atlanta, but I was traveling back and forth to Atlanta too. I had an uncle up there, and
Okay.
my dad's brother, so I was getting hip to the city energy early, and getting the music. I had a cousin that was hitting me with the music and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I first
Was
came
he was
into
he was he
it.
calling you country since you were from Athens?
Yeah, they did, but I was so swift though, they didn't even know where I was from though. I tell them I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
from
yeah.
LA or something like that. I would say LA like Cali, but LA, little Athens, baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how. Yeah, they did. Yeah, but yeah, man.
So okay, so the atypical, yeah, my joint was first record came into my house was Dougie Fresh the Show.
Okay, okay.
Slick Rick. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my first taste to
yo,
hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
that was
And
hot too.
yeah, it was funny though, cause like when you young, man, and remember, cause they were cussing in that joint. They didn't cuss much.
Right.
I think they said like maybe three or four cuss words, but like you young, you like, oh damn, he cussed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, dang,
Yeah,
like what did he say? Um, that's okay. I got you. So earlier you said you were talking about you read the autobiography of Malcolm X. So I know that you a very conscious brother. You know what I'm saying? Us being from the same numerous fraternities, together. We
same
going
school
through
of
the
thought.
same school of
Yeah,
thought.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Sabians and Wapians, all the and all the other ones up the Rahubat to
Rahubat,
everybody out there. Yeah, to
Rahubat.
everyone, Rahubat to everyone. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? All the families, Messiah. But so talk about. I want you to talk about becoming conscious. You know what I'm saying? Um, what are the different schools you went through, the different teachers that got you up? Could you talk about like and elaborate on that?
Yeah, yeah. But I was born conscious though. You know what I'm saying? I was born conscious. Shout out to AA Rashid. He hit me with that when I interviewed him on one of my podcasts back in the day.
Mhm.
He's like, "Yo, I was born conscious." He's right. We born conscious, but when I
Yeah,
became
yeah, yeah.
enlightened,
Enlighten.
um, let's see. Again, I have to start with that Malcolm X
Mhm.
autobiography, man. But prior to that, my mom's was heavy into the civil rights. She was arrested at age 14 for marching during the civil rights. She was 14.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I come from that. You follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
my
yeah.
dad always taught me, to beware of them people. Don't trust them folks. You
Mhm.
follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He said, yo, we can't beat them. You know what I'm saying? He said, just make your way in the system and just stay out the way.
Mhm.
Provide for your family, stay out the way. That's what he always
Yeah.
told me. You know what I'm saying? We really wasn't
Mhm.
religious. My mom's, had me going to church like during the holidays and stuff like that. She was only going because her mom was telling her to go. And my dad didn't believe in it, period. He was like, nah, he
Yeah.
never went. He's like, he actually was an atheist. And I didn't know what an atheist was back in the day, right? But
Mhm.
now, he got knowledge himself. So, but it's basically the same thing. He wasn't feeling none of that, right? So when I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, it just kind of like turned the lights on for me, man. I was
Mhm.
16 at the time. It was 1988.
Mhm.
So when I was doing music too, I started doing music when I was about 12 or 13. My parents bought me two turntables and a mixer, and I began like I first started cutting and stuff. I was a DJ. I went through all the phases of hip hop too. Prior
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
turntables, I was breakdancing and pop locking. I was known as Frosty. You know what I'm saying? Then I was scratching. Then I became the beatbox wizard.
Mhm.
The beatbox wizard when I first, got into hip hop. But anyway, at 16, when I read the autobiography, I started implementing consciousness into my music at that point. I knew
Mhm.
right then, like, yo, and then, in 88, that's when I think Republic Enemy might have hit the scene. It was
Yeah.
J. Rue the Damager, cats like that, KRS
Mhm.
One,
Mhm.
Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Poor Righteous Teachers. I was into
Yeah.
all of that,
Right
man.
before the 90s. Yeah. Yep.
All of that. It was all strictly conscious. So that was teaching me too. But
Mhm.
outside of that, I couldn't get nothing but the final call. When we go to Atlanta on the weekends, I would see the brothers, on the corners with the bean pies. I get a final call, young. Um,
Mhm.
Reading those. After high school, I went to college. I went to Clark Atlanta University, right? So, that's a plethora of wisdom and knowledge and information right there. I met so many different energies that introduced me so many things, right? The first thing I was introduced to was um the Africa Bambaataa group. What was the Zulu Nation from my
Zulu Nation.
roommate at the time. But I wasn't really ready for that right there. My mind wasn't really right there. I was still on the Muslim like Islam kick because that's all I
Mhm.
had access to.
Mhm.
Um So this is like 1990 when I went to college. In '93, I met some brothers, some Nuwabian brothers. They was known as Ansars at the time. And
Mhm.
the first book I read was The Pale Man.
Mhm.
That was it. That was it. Like from the autobiography of Malcolm X to The Pale Man.
Mhm.
That was it, man.
Yeah.
I was gone. I was open. Like, man, what is this? But everything that was in the book, I was feeling like that. It answered a whole
Mhm.
lot of questions for me at that time. That was
Mhm.
93. I was 21.
Mhm.
I was working at a theater off of Buford Highway in Atlanta. It was a dollar theater show. Do you remember were you around then?
What year?
93.
No, I came in 2000.
Okay, it was some brothers, Ansar brothers used to come in. They had just went out of the phase from Ansar to I think the Wabu. I want to say that because they
Probably
were
Holy Tabernacle.
the
Holy Tabernacle, right?
HCM. Yeah, they weren't
Yeah,
dressed
yeah.
in the white garbs. Anyway, the brothers they used to have that's when they had the dope afros, the dope naturals, and I was a barber
Mhm.
too by trade. My dad was a barber, so it was in me. So I noticed I was like, man, those afros are on point, man. Damn, it's dope. They used to be sculptured. And
Mhm.
the brother Birth from KMD. You remember the group
Mhm.
KMD?
Mhm.
The Birthstone kid. He was like, it's not an afro, brother. It's called a natural. And he broke
Mhm.
down the whole natural nine ether to me right then.
Mhm.
And I,
Mhm.
if I'm
Mhm.
saying, he started coming to the crib we was building. Um,
Mhm.
and I started from there, man. I started reading Dr. York books. And once I started
Mhm.
reading them books, it just started answering all the questions I always had. You follow what I'm saying? So this is like between 93 and 95. I went down to the land between that time and heard him speak in person, man. And it was instant DNA reactivations. That's
Yeah,
all I can
yeah.
say, man. Everything that
DNA explosion. DNA RNA explosion.
that's it. That's it. From so so
Yeah.
so from like 95 to like 2004. I was studying that information hard. It was waking me up. But also along my travels, though, I was checking out other master teachers as well.
Mhm.
You follow what I'm saying? I was checking out Dr. Francis Cresswell,
Mhm.
um, Bobby Hemmett.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my
Dr.
dude. That's my dude.
Delbert Blair.
That's my dude.
You know what I mean? So I was getting the information like that, man,
Yeah.
and on my travels, I was meeting different people that was hitting me with different information. So yeah, that's how it happened for me, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talk in a book about how my first scroll I ever had, because I was already starting to questioning things. I was probably my probably the same age, at 21. I
Right.
was already questioning things, and my first scroll I ever got. That's another reason why I made these books this size. But first scroll I ever got was Our Bondage, right?
Right.
And I just remember looking at those pictures and how the Bible verses were broken down into the original languages. I'm just like, yo, I've never seen nothing like this in my life, and it just
Right.
instantly hit me. But see,
Right.
the dope thing was, I talk about this book, is that a brother on the other side of me, where I was working at, he was the one that gave me the books, but I would just ask him question after question, and he would just answer it so thorough,
Hmm.
and not just, you got to believe it. He was like, no, look at it right here, back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I actually was introduced to yeah, Dr. York and the information.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's a
Yeah,
powerful thing, man.
yeah, man, yeah, man. So because I know you ended up doing music. What's the whole story between you doing with pure energy and all
Okay.
that? What's that? What's
Okay.
that story?
Let me rewind a little bit. After college, well, in college, I formed a group, OCP, which consisted
Mhm.
of myself, my college mate Scott Lee from Detroit, and Tariq Camp, who was from Athens, but he had relocated to Atlanta too. Peace to y'all. So we started creating music, little demos and shit like that. I had a manager, David Kidd, and David Kidd was connected with Ian Burke. You know who Ian Burke is?
Mhm.
Ian Burke is responsible for finding Outkast, Goody Mob,
Mhm.
excuse me, or Dungeon Family, TLC, Escape, all of them. So
Mhm.
my crew, we was on his roster first. We was in that roster when the Goody Mob was known as the East Point Chain Gang. You follow what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
Organized Noise was known as the U Boys.
Mm.
And you had C Rhyme and the OCP. You know what I'm saying? But being young and not knowing, being young and being from Athens, right? Only thing we knew is to kick our real feelings and be truthful.
Yeah.
So they wanted us to really to be something we wasn't. You know what I'm saying? The music I was doing then was conscious then, so they didn't know how to
Mhm.
market any of that shit, right?
Mhm.
So we basically just dipped and went underground. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Started doing independent, but then right after we dipped, then Outkast was birthed. You follow what I'm saying? I was a conscious MC, and my man from Detroit was a street dude. You follow what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, but
Mhm.
anyways, skip to the future. In '96, I moved to Detroit with my man Scott Lee from Detroit. So we had did it the whole Atlanta underground circuit from like '90 to '96, and nothing would pop off because again we was too conscious. They didn't know how to market us.
Mhm.
And LA Reid, them they was doing their thing. So we went to Detroit. When I got to Detroit, we toured the city, man. We had a single called For the Root of All Evil. Me, my man Scott, and uh, Rest the Dead, my man Big Tim, the Golden Child. We hit the city. We hit all the Detroit spots. Right before Eminem went out to Cali, we was out there. Right
Mhm.
after he went, we was doing it. We hit all the spots. Maurice Malone's, Floods. If you from Detroit, you know these spots. The State Theater, the Perfect Beat, Southwest Detroit. We was killing 'em. I got a little record deal, whatnot. It didn't pan out to too much though. But so I did Detroit for about 2 years, and I came back. I said, like, I'm going back. I'm gonna find a wife. I'm gonna do this music shit. I'm gonna get down with York and get him this music. That was my
Mhm.
goal in '98. So I came back,
Mhm.
went to Atlanta. I met a young lady. You know her as Amunet,
Mhm.
Kwanyin Amunet. Um, Before that, though, I was sending Doc, I was sending him my music too, right?
Mhm.
I never got heard anything back. I heard something back on one of them. Music to Time Travel Tour was a green CD with a gray alien on it, but it was green. So I got a the office hit me back, said, "Yo, he liked that cover, right?" That
Mhm.
was it was like shit, like '96, maybe '97.
Mhm.
But anyway, so I met my ex and we got married and we formed the group Pure Energy.
Mhm.
She couldn't rap before she met me, right?
Mhm.
But after a night of meditating and an intense chanting, we had an experience. And that's when I first came in tune with the Amun Ray energy. You know what I'm saying? And the next day she was rhyming just like me. She never rapped
Mm.
in her life.
Wow.
You hear what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And this was probably about a month before we sent our information in to the ancient Egyptian order, right? You know when
Mm. Remember those days?
you remember you send information and you receive your name,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? So the names we receive was I received Ba Amun, right, which is soul of the divine, the hidden one, and she was
Mhm.
Amunet Ka, the hidden spirit.
Mhm.
This is after we done this ritual and
Mhm.
became in tune with the Amun-Ra energy. So when we got them names, it was confirmation for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You right?
Mhm.
So once that happened, man, we just started creating. It was like this. Like she was like my. I couldn't explain it. She was writing her own stuff. It was just clicking,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
we sent a single called. I read the Kabbalion.
Mhm.
My cousin Eshu, Cherie Eshu, hit me. He sent me the Kabbalion. This was shit, probably like '99. He sent me the Kabbalion. I read the seven hermetic principles. For those who don't know, research the Kabbalion, right? So we created a song called Mental Transmutations,
I remember
right?
that.
Right. We sent that and we sent that to Doc and them. Like a week later, they hit us back like, yo, he loved that. He want to sign y'all. He want to put your album out ASAP.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh wow, to me, I made it. Like, yo, I got my music to my master teacher. That's all I wanted to do because he always
Mhm.
taught us, no, you're not gonna make it within the industry. You
Yeah.
can't expect
Yeah.
going into the industry, uh, trying to dismantle the beast, and you want to be in that. They're not gonna let that happen. You got to
Yeah.
create your
Yeah.
own. You
Well.
follow what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He said we need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create our own industry. Period. Everything. So that's
Mhm.
why I've been independent this long. But once we was invited down to the land to record the album. They gave us 2 weeks to record it. We recorded in like 4 days. He had in-house producers already, but we had already had the lyrics already written. So whoever would have got signed by, we had an album already ready.
Yeah,
So
already
they
gone
put it
for
out.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, they put it out in 4 or 5 days, man. And I was told it went platinum on the land, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like
I
that,
believe it.
overnight.
Everybody had it.
Yeah,
Everybody had it when I was back. I remember that. I remember when it first came out. Everybody and their mama had that joint. That joint was tight, man.
I appreciate
So,
that, man.
but that okay, because I was never in. I don't think I ever went to actually in the Hathor studio. So
Mhm.
that joint was it? Was I never man? Was that
It,
off the chain?
yo, it looked like it was. I was in an ancient Kemetic temple, and it
Mm.
had all the deities etched out on the wall. It was incredible,
Word?
man. It was the best studio I've been in my life, man. And we had all the
Damn.
time we wanted. We would just kick back. We used to spend the night
Which
in the joint.
what you mean it was etched out in the wall? Like what you mean?
I
Like
mean,
you mean like
you know how on the land how they used to do the carvings.
okay. I got you. I
They
got
had
you.
them
I got
carved
you.
all throughout the wall, all the
Topper
deities.
and in there doing their thing, right?
Yeah, they was doing. It was man. It was. I'm telling you, and the light, how the light was dimmed, it was like we was in a Kemetic temple, and I recorded
Dang.
in that, man. It was incredible, and
I
it
bet you it
was
was
it was
top-notch
flawless.
equipment too,
It
right?
was. It
Top-notch
was.
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't, anybody listening, you can go to my garage band. That's amun-ra.bandcamp.com and check out the Pure Energy Om album, or just Google Pure Energy AUM, and you can check out what I'm talking about. We recorded it in the year 2000, and that's how I got the fan base that I got now. So I'm
Yeah.
always thankful and grateful for him for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how
It's
that happened.
amazing. You know, what always amazed me about Doc is that just as far as me knowing and what I've known about what I've seen, it's like everything he touched, you know what I'm saying? Like everything he touched just like permeated around the earth. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like consciousness, like when he was bringing, because what he had Jay-Z up there wearing the Maki flag at Queen Latifah, you know what I'm saying? He had Doc
Queen.
had,
I'm gonna tell you, he had India Arie.
mm-hmm,
I met Erica Badu. She was down with it.
mm-hmm,
Pasa News from De La Soul.
mm-hmm. Oh
Prodigy
yeah.
from Mob Deep.
Yeah, yeah.
Prodigy from Mob Deep, yo.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. It's like, and people want to discredit. I can't speak on what he was locked up for. I don't know nothing about none of that. But I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
they try to discredit the information and not as like, oh, he plagiarized. Who cares? He's the only one that brought this shit together in one
Yeah.
package, and they give it to you like that. And now everything everybody
Mm-hmm.
talking about right now,
Mm-hmm.
he gave it to us about 30 years ago, probably prior
Exactly.
before that.
Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. Like, and these young, and the beautiful thing, these young cats are just running with it, man. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
great. Hey,
Man, I
what's happening right?
love that, yo. I
What's
love
happening
it.
right? What's happening right now is what we wish to happen, and he said it
Yeah,
was going to happen,
exactly.
and
Yep,
that's what's
he sure
happening.
do. Hmm.
That's what happened. That's what's
You know what I'm
happening.
saying? You
It's a
got
beautiful thing, man.
kids, 21 years old and
Yeah,
spitting
they
conscious stuff and got
kicking it,
pictures of aliens and
kicking
Riskians.
it
Man, I love that,
all
man,
across the
because
planet, man. They can't stop it.
yeah, that's a very good point. You know what
They
I'm
can't.
saying?
You know what
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said? You
yeah.
know what he said?
Mm,
He said, I know they coming to get me. He said this is like in the like the
mm,
late 90s. He said, but before they come and get me, I've been completed my mission. I've been raised you all up to be master teachers too.
mm,
He completed his mission. We out
mm.
here. We out here on every corner, baby.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is so amazing, man. I think I talk about this all the time. It's just like I've never seen since I've been alive. I'm not, you got me by a couple of years, but um I've never seen since I've been it on this planet. It's like he recreated a new race of people, literally.
He
Like with language, culture, mindset. I've never seen anything collectively and
not
still
like that.
moving. No, I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like remotely close to what
Yo.
Dr. York has done, man. It's just, I mean, I still, I'm amazed, because I met him a couple times. You know what I'm saying? And see, and there's another thing. People, like especially the young cats, if you did not see Tamaray, you know what I'm saying?
Speak
Real
on
talk.
it.
Yeah, man. If y'all did not see, because Amun-Ra, he'll tell you, man, Saturday nights you would go out there and you would feel like you went out, you weren't even in
In Georgia,
in America, in the Georgia,
anywhere,
America.
anywhere. Yeah. It's
You just
you
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 looked around, you heard this home consistently. You know what I'm saying, over and over. You saw these pyramids everywhere lit up. You saw
Right.
everything in your own language. You
Right.
looked on the walls, you saw yourself. It was
It felt like home. It felt like home.
it
You know what I
it
mean?
it was still today, I've never experienced anything what I saw when I saw Tamaray, because you can go, as you, Amara, you were there, you were in Egypt, but what they said is Egypt's a graveyard, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But that was living, you know what I'm saying? That was living. And you remember how, like, Wednesday nights or Om nights, everybody would just go, people could be doing anything else, but they would be going down there for spiritual class. Saturday nights,
Me too. I'm
you
telling
could
you.
be you could be go to the strip club.
Right.
You had an option. You be getting lit up. Nah, man, I'm gonna go hear what Doc
Yep.
gotta say. See,
Hey,
y'all, the
my
people
parent.
that didn't experience that, man. It was a beautiful thing. I don't know how else to explain it, but
Hey, my family thought I had went crazy, man. You hear me? They couldn't understand it, man. They couldn't
yeah,
understand it at all, man. But they understand now. You
yeah,
know
they
what
sure
I'm saying?
do.
Because they hearing this shit on the internet and on TV all day now. Same shit we
You
was
know, you
kicking
know, my
30 years ago.
my mom told me, because I used to, you remember the Leviathan book when he was talking about the missiles hitting the World Trade Center and all that stuff.
Yep.
Um, um, well, I let her read. I always used to read her because when you're younger and you get the information, you're like, "Look, mom, the Bible ain't real." Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And you got a whole arsenal to, and your mom's like, "Yeah, whatever. I love Jesus." You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
you know, um, you know. But the interesting thing is that now, what I'm saying. My mom said to me numerous times. She said, everything that you showed me, Dr. York was saying, it came true.
It's
And you
real
talk
talk.
about as one of the staunchest Christian that I've ever, what I'm saying,
Hey,
seen in my life.
I'm
She
happy
was just
for you.
like,
Salute, man. That's good to get that acknowledgement, man.
yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
real, from
what I'm
your
saying, yeah.
moms.
Yeah, man. Well, we still talk about it. She always she still brings that stuff up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because she's conscious in her own right. So
Right, right.
she's conscious in her own right. So I think she's able to look at current events and a lot of information that I gave to her that Doc gave, and kind of be like, oh yeah. But she literally stands like, yeah, I remember when Doc, my mom, she's like 80 something. I remember Dr. York used to say that.
Right,
But
right.
she still says that today,
A lot of
so
people are not gonna give him his props though, but it's all good. He did what he came to do.
man,
Yo,
yeah,
he
yeah,
said he
yeah,
had 30
yeah.
years to do what he had to do. He did that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So so here's another interesting thing.
Okay.
Um, I always thought, because I remember back when I think Amun-Ra, when I was doing the thing here in Atlanta, my band, I think you were like winning awards up in Athens, like doing hip hop and stuff. It was like you were like kind of blowing up there, right?
I remember that. I wasn't really winning awards. It was just a lot of shows at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, and that's what it
I thought
was,
you
man.
won. I thought
Now I
like
performed at
you in
the
a
Athens Hip Hop
newspaper or
Awards
something. I
show.
saw.
Oh yeah, I had a couple write ups being a pioneer of Athens
Oh,
hip
okay,
hop. You know what I'm saying?
that's what
But
it was. Okay.
no awards, man. I don't really like someone told me many moons ago, man. We shouldn't expect any rewards from the oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I was told
not
that,
without a price.
right, us giving the knowledge, that's the gift alone, and the people receiving it, that's our present. You know what I'm saying? That's what we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah,
for.
yeah.
So
That's
I
the
don't,
gift. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't expect anything from them people, man. I'm because I'm not here for them. You follow what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just here to
yeah.
reach out people, man. But they can learn from us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Mm-hmm.
can learn from us like y'all did before and stole the information. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
can
Mm-hmm.
still learn. We back, baby, in
Yeah,
effect,
yeah.
in
That's
full
that's that's the
effect.
truth. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of my guests that I have on there. It's a beautiful thing, because it's like you can tell with these people come out this knowledge, these healers that we have, these individuals. It's literally what you
yeah,
just said. We're back.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We're
Yep.
back. Like
It's
a lot of us are still asleep, and still want to be in the matrix, but that's cool.
yeah.
But it's not going to take a lot of us to
Nah, nah.
to flip this bad
It,
boy.
it's not gonna.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you're
saying?
right. It's happening daily anyway.
Every second,
You
every
follow what I'm saying?
millisecond.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I'm saying? Every second. You know what I'm saying?
I'm,
Because these babies, man, these babies, man, they coming out
they
like,
come out the womb already, probably speaking a different language, baby. You already know. You know what I'm saying? My daughters be hitting me with a lot of knowledge, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine.
We just
Yeah.
gotta
So,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead.
Now I'm saying we just gotta school them correctly, give them the outlets they
Yeah.
need to become who they supposed to be. You
Well,
feel what I'm saying?
I thought that that was like I was talking to brother. I was talking to Sobek some months ago,
Hmm.
and I was just like, I was asking him, it's like, so when you got kids raising up, you know what I'm saying, how do you get them, to get away from this crazy world? And we were just talking, and I was listening to him. I was just like, I said to myself, we got this whole culture that was set up for us to do exactly that. I'm the dumbest motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Nah.
what is right in
Look,
front of my face? And you know what I'm saying?
it's hard though. It take a lot of discipline too, man. You know what
Yeah, yeah,
I'm saying?
you're right. You're right.
Because
That's real though. That's real. What you're saying is real.
they distracted from these phones and this internet. That's what's killing us right now.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
radiation from the phones and the poison of what they looking at
The
every day. This
crazy
TikTok
shows.
and
Yeah, the
shit.
crazy shows.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mind control, basically. That's what the whole internet was set up for originally.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you're right. You're right.
I mean, it can be the Akashic records for some, but you got to know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know how to use it. They've been
Mm-hmm.
misled. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So how was it going back to my initial thing, playing those shows, getting that recognition?
Mm.
Like what was that whole? How was that? Was it just you were just playing a lot of shows, and next thing you know, people like, yo, that's Amun-Ra. He's that conscious cat. Like, how did
Nah,
what was
well,
that?
I gotta give it up to my man Montu. Montu is known
Oh
as
yeah,
the
Montu. I'm a Montu.
yeah
You
Montu.
you hooked me and Montu up.
Right, Montu like the gatekeeper now. For
Mm,
Athens hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's a promoter and he owns a company, entertainment company where he promotes shows and he promote acts and he really opened the doors for me. The funny thing though, when I first met Montu, I was throwing shows myself, right?
mm-hmm.
And I asked him and his crew. He had a poet crew, Dreaded Minds, and I asked him to perform at it. Two shows, and after that, he started promoting his own shows, and it grew into what it is now, man.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah, I
man right
know.
now. So he was hooking me up with a lot of shows, and
Hmm.
people would look at like some of the articles and stuff like that, ask me to perform. So yeah, it was that little phase, man. Yeah, it was a phase.
Why am I'm going back in memory lane right now, but
Hmm.
the whole, was Montu the one that had that connect at the radio station?
Which
Or was
radios?
that somebody
Yeah,
else?
UGA. Yeah, Montu
Yeah.
had. Yeah, he had
Okay,
the
that was him.
connection.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we actually Amun he actually had us on the show
Oh,
playing live at the
oh, word. Man, you ain't
Yeah,
even
man.
tell me nothing about that. I missed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, man. I can't even tell you what year that was, man. But yeah, we were in that little, you know, drove up there. You know what I'm saying? We had got interviewed. You know what I'm saying? And we rocked out live.
Was this after the Big Boy show?
I guess it had to be because I think you were the one that connected
That
me with him.
that was your first time
So
down there?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was. It had to be after we connected.
Yeah.
It had to be because I know you the one that connected me and Montu. I
There's
know
a
for a fact.
there's a market for you down here now. Still, they love rock. You still doing that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm in the well, I'll never, well, I shouldn't say never, but my focus definitely isn't on the
Okay.
rock that I was doing like that before.
Oh, okay.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? When you younger and my main man Larry, he was on the podcast before. He had a he had a term for it called righteous righteous anger. That's what he he
I
called it
can dig it.
righteous anger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like, you once you get a little bit more grounded and settled, you know what I'm saying, that aggression of that music,
Yeah.
man, and just really the tones in all honesty,
Yeah.
you kind of go away from it and you kind of like, yo, man, I want to chill from that and kind of do something else. So I still love the rock, but I've tweaked it. I'm tweaking it to more adjust, the message and the people I'm trying to
Hey,
convey it to.
I'm eager to hear the new stuff, man. Let's do something, man. We supposed to been
Yeah.
did something
Oh
anyway,
yeah, you
man.
already know, man. You already know.
How long we been knowing each other though? You remember how we met?
No, I can't remember. You
I
refresh
was
my memory.
Pure Energy. We was performing for a television show, All Eyes on Egypt television show, and you were
That's it.
you was a cameraman at the time. So
Hmm.
this had to be around like 2000, 2001.
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think I was helping out. Yeah, I was helping out because the funny thing is, I was actually on the first episode of the All Eyes on Egypt.
Oh,
You know what I'm
word.
saying? Yeah, we used to when we were down in Auburn, and we were down in Auburn. Remember, we used to go to Bun Store. I don't know if you ever used to go to Bun Store down
N-
on Auburn Avenue.
Nah,
Okay.
I
Well,
was in
anyway,
nah.
Friday nights we would go down there because he would always have like the communication from the land, right? And we did that first episode of All Eyes on Egypt, and then it was me and it was a couple other cats that were I can't remember the other panelists we had, but we sent the tape and we all were coming around on the next Friday to hear what he said about it. And he was just
Mhm.
how he is give you that short but sweet, what I'm saying,
Yeah, I really didn't know.
information.
I really didn't know Buns like that. I know
Yeah,
Asaru knew him real well,
yeah, sorry, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
really
yeah.
know him like that.
Yeah, but well, I was actually talking about we they gave the tape to Doc to hear their response. I
Hmm.
can't remember what his response, but he liked it. He said keep doing it. So um, after me, because I know I was still kind of green in information. They got some other more schooled the teachers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I never felt like I was on a level either, but
Yeah, man, because you just had some teachers that were just on, even now today, like I know the information and doctrine, I know it, but
right.
some of these cats, man, they were just
Yeah,
like they were like built and their DNA is nothing but, what I'm saying, and then non-ether, and they just be going on. I just be like,
I know it helps you remember.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because it's and see, and
Yeah,
that's the interesting thing. It's like nowadays, I hope that the younger cats was as thorough as we and some teachers were back in the day, because you remember back in the day, man, people used to those debates were like off the chain, man, and like just the
I know.
level of knowledge and just teaching and all those people that Doc raised, all these students that he raised was like and you could go all around the world because I used to live in London, you know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
word. I didn't know that.
Yo, yeah, man, I lived in London almost 6 months, and
How was that
I w-
experience?
well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna talk about that as well, but so I knew there was a tab over there at the time. This
Right.
is
A major tab too.
yeah, this was late like 99, 98, right? So they
Mm.
said you got to go to I was at the time I was staying in Stockwell. Okay, Stockwell's I think it's like one or two exits from Brixton. And Brixton's like in Atlanta's like the West End. That's
Okay.
the equivalent, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
All the history and all that good stuff. I saw a lot of the island folks stay down there. So um I remember getting off the train, whatever, and I just saw some bookstores. I said, "Where's the ATM bookstore?" They were like, everywhere I asked, they were like, "Go down there, take a left, go to right, go up the street." You know what I'm saying? Just
Wow.
because it was that prevalent. I didn't even have
Wow.
an
That's dope.
I didn't even
That's
have an
deep.
address, yo. I didn't even have an address. I used to sit in classes all the time, and sisters when they're teaching, man, I was just like, man, there ain't. I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's nothing in the world
Then
in the world better than a
then
sister that's dropping
dropping that
knowledge like
knowledge,
that.
baby.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
And look, and being beautiful on top of
And
that.
fly
Oh Lord,
too.
have
Yes,
mercy.
sir. Yes, sir. I
Man,
know. I
my
know.
nerves were bent out after that whole experience, man. But
Hey,
yeah, it was. Mhm.
I'm about to say reactivated more than your DNA, huh?
Man, shoot. But that experience, to answer your question, that experience over there, it opened my eyes because once you're living in somewhere like Georgia or Virginia, like I was at the time, you think that America, you know, is they try to make it like it's a center point of the world, and a lot of people think that way. And once you move somewhere else, you realize that it's furthest from the truth. You know what I mean? A lot of people around the world are way different, and they don't have the mindset that the people like do in America. In America, even
Right.
even black folk, the white, black, all. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's different over there. They don't. It's different, and it's just different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. But at
It
least
ain't
you
like
had
America.
at least you had that knowledge to keep you anchored over there though, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even the knowledge was anchored, but it's like you got to remember like the history of the UK.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
after they bombed it up,
Yeah.
they were like everybody they colonized. They were like, y'all come help us rebuild it. So I think I called it the windstorm or something like. They had a specific name for everybody came in and helped rebuild it. So people on the islands, they all came here to rebuild it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So the way America is today, the way that everybody's like kind of intermixing, they already started that. Probably I would say in probably the 50s and 60s, or maybe even before that. So you see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people that might be pasty pale, white male or female, in their family, they got somebody look like Obama, you know what I'm saying? And then on the
Mhm,
other side of the family, they got somebody look like Peter Tosh, you know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
you know what I'm saying? You it's different because of that, if that makes any sense. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
the human element, that we deal with, especially racism, is not like that over there. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
word.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not nothing. I tell people all the time, I um I feel as though when I walk on the street, like it being black in America, quote unquote black, as they want to say, black
Right,
in
got
America, it's like you walk around always with a big gorilla on your back, you know what I'm
you.
saying?
Right, right,
And with a target, you know what I'm
right,
saying? But over there, it
right,
smelled like
right.
like, I had a small plush, like a one of them, like what do you call, like a toy
Yeah,
gorilla, you know what I'm
right.
saying, with a small target. It is different, you know what I'm
Wow,
saying? It's not.
I would have never known that. Thought that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, just like I said, once you learn the knowledge of the place, you know what I'm saying, and the demographics,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. You go to somewhere like Brixton, you don't see any white people. I
Wow.
mean, you can, but you know what I'm
I
saying. But
mean, yeah, I know what you mean.
it's
Like
like
going to
going to
Atlanta,
it's like exactly by going to Decatur, you know what I'm saying.
Decatur.
Flakes Mill Road, you know what I'm saying, and so, yeah, but
ATL.
but it's similar, but the more and more you travel the world, the more and more you just see how fake and false the imagery of the American, that whole mystique is, because it doesn't permeate all of. Actually, a lot of people look down on it, and I talk about it in the book. When people go
Okay.
over there, like white Americans go over there and they act like they white Americans do, and I don't care if they were Europeans or whatever, they'd be looking down. I'm like, man, typical Yankee. I heard, man, how many times I've seen them, making fun of just dogging out crazy Americans just for being assholes.
Mm,
What I'm saying. It's travel, travel the world if you can. Get your
yeah,
passport.
exactly.
10% of Americans have passports, and that explains a lot of the mentality.
And true indeed.
You know what I'm saying? A lot
Yeah,
of people over there speak like 3 or 4 different languages. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
different, man. It's different, different.
I know.
You know? Yeah, man. So what's going on now, man? Like with the music, because I know you were kind of on a little hiatus, whatever, because the whole, I guess not. I mean, just life happens, families happen. You know what I'm
The
saying?
COVID hit, yo. That's what it was. Like,
Mm,
yeah, but that was a good thing too, you know what I'm saying? Because for them what, 2 years, I was creating a lot of music, and I got a lot of music stacked up now. So what I'm doing now is just releasing singles to get the algorithm up. You
got you.
follow what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I've done a lot of stuff. I've created an EP, Tribal Core, and that's featuring Timbo King, Wu Tang affiliate, produced by Wu Tang affiliate Jehudi Asa L. He produced my Sun Cycle album. Also, I got True Master on there doing an intro. And True
Hmm.
Master, he did the intro on the strength. He said, "Yo, I'm just gonna do this because I like your energy and your style."
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I mean? I've done a few singles. I got three like new singles produced by RBL. Look out for those. Going back to Jamaica, Move, and So Fi So Fly. Did an Ansar tape with the brothers Toast El
Oh yeah, I
Bashir
saw that. I saw
and the
that.
brother Ayun, Ninth Scientist, Islam Mahdi, and a few other good brothers, fraternal brothers on there.
Hmm.
I did a Wu Tang mix CD with my man DJ Sean Swift. He's a part of the DJ Worldwide Coalition. So we released that. That's out there. It's called oh man, Invincible Armor by DJ Sean
Okay.
Swift. Check that out.
Oh,
Dat
I like
Piff.
that
And
name.
yeah, it's some joints on there. Yeah, I got some stuff. I got some stuff in the workings, man. I got some shit with Kinetic Nine from Beretta Nine from
Yeah,
Killer Army.
Kill Army. Yeah,
Was some Wu members featured, but I don't want to speak on that too tough. But look out for it. You're gonna see it soon.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, man. I'm just trying to stay busy. Um, I haven't performed in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really focused on that right now. I'm just focused on because right now I'm creating the best music I've ever created. So I'm just focused on
Yeah,
getting this music out, and then once and I'll be ready to hit the world like Yahshua.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
comes later. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
I remember we were
uh,
just building on that.
yeah,
That's the that's actually the last part.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
fun
Yeah,
part, really. That's the
yeah,
part where you
yeah,
get
yeah.
busy. But yeah, I'm just creating, man. I'm in a good space right now, man. Music is coming, man. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff in the fire that's coming out, man.
Pure energy, science of life,
Right.
lost children of Babylon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember them cats, man. I mean, it
Yeah.
was. See, here's the deal, man. Like
Mhm.
you talk about like conscious hip hop. Like we grew up like if you listen like cats like Tribe Called Quest and like all this, these different bands, like we saw them like as conscious. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They weren't they
Right.
weren't talking about murdering people, all this kind of stuff, but like it's positive hip hop.
Right.
But like you, pure energy, Amun-Ra, Signs of Life, all these cats, it was not just conscious, but it was like next level
And
consciousness.
spiritual. It was spiritual too.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah, yeah.
was. That's what was
Hmm.
making us different. We was hitting you with
Yeah,
hitting your soul. Soul, real soul music. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
You know, melanated music. You know what I mean?
You don't know how many times that I used to like literally just have like one of y'all's tapes and literally driving around Atlanta and just like being able to, listening to the radio, be like, ugh, like literally just in disgust, taking a CD. I gotta listen to Pure Energy. I
Right.
gotta listen to Science of Life. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. Right.
I'm gonna tell you, man, I applaud all of y'all for doing that, for being what y'all do. I mean,
Thank
truth be told, is man, real talk. Even though I did rock, you know what I'm saying, but and my style, my lyrical style. My man T told me, said he said I sound like a southern preacher. That's what he said. You
you.
sound like, oh, you sound,
Nah,
your flow is like an old a southern preacher. I was like, I never thought about that. But anyway,
you
but
you really put me in mind of like Public Enemy, like on some Chuck D shit though.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I
Like
heard that
the
too.
evolved version of Chuck D, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Public Enemy.
I've
You know
heard
what I'm
that
saying?
too.
Yeah.
Um, but but being able to, uh, that's a prime example. Listen to Public Enemy, listen to Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Rage Against the Machine, all these hip hop influences, you know what I'm saying? They were huge. The conscious hip hop was huge, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? In every aspect of I did musically, you know what I'm saying? Lyrically, you know what I'm saying? If you would take, you know, Bob Marley and Chuck D, put them together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like those were my biggest influences.
I can dig it.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can dig. I can see that. I can hear that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, man. But I never stopped loving it. It's just same thing you saying, life and other things stop. But I'm gonna get back at. But my stunt, I really love the live music, man. Not only performing live, but also just the live drum and the bass. Because I've just drum, bass, guitar. I just that's all I know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm
It's in your
saying?
soul. It's in your blood.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, man. But I like I said, I appreciate all y'all cats and still making a conscious hip hop because let me ask you a question. Because I know we just
Hit me.
building environment and stuff. So,
Hit me.
what do you think about this music that's coming out today? Because I don't listen to the radio. I refuse to. I don't care if it's a nice sounding beat. I'm not gonna say it like I'm a prude or whatever you want to call it, but it's like I don't hear any. I don't feel anything that's positive. To me, so I don't listen to it.
Well, I'm with you, man. I rarely listen to it. My daughters, and my wife, they listen to it, and so I kind of tune in sometimes just to see what's going on because
Hmm.
I like to take what the powers of be is doing and reverse it and use it against them.
You
So I
study it.
got yeah, I got it's like I was a film major too, so I watch a lot of movies and TV to see what the
Yeah.
hell they talking about, and I
Hmm.
transfer that shit into the music. I'm like a refractor
Yeah,
crystal.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
take
yeah,
all the
yeah.
information in and I shoot it back out. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
listen to a little bit, and it's a few. Like you were saying, there's some young brothers coming out with some country stuff, man. I listen. It's a few, but most of that shit, man. I don't listen to that, man. I'm sorry for cursing. My fault
No,
for
no, you
cursing,
good.
but I
Hey,
don't
man.
listen to most of that, man. I'm still listening to music from like mid '80s to
Sound like me.
mid '90s.
You sound
uh,
like me, man.
daily. Like
You
I'm like
said,
the old uncle that's caught up in the '70s, listen to the '70s music. That's me
bruh,
now. You know what I'm
bruh.
saying?
If I
Trust me.
tell you if I tell you that the last 3 days I've literally been stuck on Rick Rubin's whack ass beats. They were dope then, but whack ass Hollis Crew and Sucker
Yeah,
MCs.
yeah,
You
that
know,
shit was
you listen to them
hard.
now. You man, you listen to the beat now. You can tell that's Rick Rubin doing that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Now that you
But
know, right?
now that you know, but back then, man, Sucker MCs, tat tat tat, kuku tat, kutak
Look,
kutak kutak. I mean, you
man,
couldn't beat that, man.
man,
You know
come
what
on,
I'm
man. The
saying?
Fat Boys used to be my group, boy. Prince
Man,
Marky D.
Prince Marky D. You know what I'm
Talking about,
saying?
man.
Yeah. That's, I still, man, I still love. In night, it was a beautiful thing. I thought was when, like, it was two things. When Rakim came on the scene and his flow changed, you know, it was like it wasn't the ha 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 ha
Nah,
ha ha. Rakim came in and was like just riding that
yeah,
wave, you know what I'm
he
saying?
changed it.
And
He changed the
he
game.
changed it. And then kind of
He did.
Nas kind of, followed him.
He
And
did.
it's like ever since that early 90s hip hop in the production, when they started using like the old, like perfect example is Tribe Called Quest. What is that? Microphone check 1 2. Off the low end theory, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
bugging
I
out.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
bugging out.
when
Yeah,
when they started producing the jazz stuff with the beats, you know what I'm saying, and all them cats started changing to production to looping and stuff, and it was like the beats and like, oh man, that was like, all that stuff, Far Side, Diggable Planets, all that conscious, beautiful hip hop, man. It's like
um,
I can't I can't leave it alone, man.
me either, man. I mean, it was designed to do what it did.
Yeah,
It awakened us. It was a part of our learning. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
For me, I know for
yeah,
sure, man. Poor
yeah,
Righteous Teachers, X Clan,
yeah.
J. Rue the Damager,
Mhm,
Gangstar,
mhm,
um, shit. Even on the West Coast, you had Paris
mhm,
dropping their knowledge. Even
mhm.
Outkast, Goody Mob,
Yeah,
they came.
hieroglyphics.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
hieroglyphics. What you know about
Yeah.
the Souls of Mischief?
Souls of mischief. Yep, yep, yep. I mean, I'm saying
Yeah,
that was
man.
that was,
Rise Cause, you know.
and the deep thing is, man. I remember, you know, I didn't know about this till later on, but I remember Professor Griff was breaking it down about how like the whole system systematically came and brought that to a halt.
They
They were like,
did.
all right, they were like, okay, well, we want to make money building prisons, so we're gonna break this crazy music, gangster rap in to make
Right,
everybody's minds jacked up and fill the prisons. I
right.
mean, just think of the mindset behind. I mean, we know who these people are, but just think of the mindset of just weaponizing music like that, man. These people are sick, man.
They
You know
up
what I'm saying? They sick, man.
they they parasites on the planet, if you ask me, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Yeah.
And
I
they
mean, could you imagine just like being in a room, flying a room when these bastards made, we're like, all right, this we can't let these people get on. Going back to
that's
you saying earlier,
that
or
sacred
you saying,
meaning.
yeah, exactly. Going, you know what Bobby Hemmett was saying? Bobby Hemmett said that when people used to listen to soul music, they listen to record, they put it on, you know what I'm saying, that carbon, that melanin record, and they used to the soul
Right,
music. Yep.
right,
It used to heal them. So they'd
right,
be sick. They put the music on, that soul
right,
music, and it would literally heal them. And
right.
he was like, yo, once they figured that out, that's when they started digitizing stuff, speeding thing up. So it was like they, you
Yeah.
know,
You know it, when it was analog, it was cool. You had natural instruments,
yeah.
and then the drum that came out of Africa. It's just natural. That's where music
Mm-hmm.
originated from, right?
Mm-hmm.
The planet used to vibrate on the fourth octave C, middle C, which is the
Mm-hmm.
ohm
Mm-hmm.
tone,
Home
and
tone. Yep.
they sped the vibrations up. Now we're on a fifth octave A.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's frying our brains like microwaves now.
Yeah.
Those digital sounds and shit like that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's why y'all need to get into a lot of crystals and things of that nature to
Mm-hmm.
help protect you from that. You can use smoky quartz, black
Mm-hmm.
tourmaline,
Mm-hmm.
I think onyx too. I keep a lot of quartz around me too because that doubles your auric field. But that music is really damaging your brain
Yeah.
cells.
Yep.
You follow what I'm
Yep.
saying? Then
Yep.
and then they
Yep.
introduced the Bluetooth. Dr. Delbert Blair and Dr.
Oh
York
yeah.
spoke
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
this. The radiation from it is killing us, man.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's what
Yep.
we're
Yep.
doing
Yep.
all day is
All
killing you.
day, man.
And melanin is a superconductor transducer,
Yep.
and
Radiation.
it absorbs it quicker than anything else. So we getting
Mm-hmm.
the worst of it, but we always want the next new phone coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got us really going, man. We
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
gotta get back in tune with who we are, get back in tune with nature. You know what I'm
You
saying?
you know it's interesting. Like even when we talk about nature and music, because like one of my favorite all-time albums is Survival by Bob Marley. Survival, right?
Mm, mm,
And listening to that music, I tell people all the time, it's like listen, like you were saying, it's like listening to nature because they got the drums, they got the,
yep.
they got
All
the
natural instruments.
all everything, but just the rhythm and like, and just like the music is harmonious, and it's like it blends with nature. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
When you hear stuff like that, man, you cannot hear when you hear music like that, real music, not nothing else can be presented to you. You know what I'm saying? That's about the
right.
top of the line. You know what I'm saying?
And most of the children born today don't know nothing about real
Nothing
music.
about
'Cause all they
exactly
know is just digitized,
the crazy stuff.
sped up microwaves, basically. And then the lyrics, the lyrics are the worst. They
Yo,
everybody on drugs now. But you know what we preaching to the choir, man. They know what time
they
it is.
know, they know,
And
yeah,
if you don't know by now, then might not gonna get it this on this trip. And if
yeah.
you
You
do know
might
you're
have to
not
see
making
next
no
time.
and if you do know you're not making no changes, then you part of the problem.
Yeah, yeah. What did Erica? What about Miss Badu say? We have to see you next lifetime, right?
Next lifetime, that's real talk, man.
Well,
Yeah.
me and before we came on here on the phone, Amun-Ra were talking about we were talking about the Georgia Guidestones, and
Word.
like
Yo,
because if y'all don't know, I did a video with
check
Brother
that video
Comic,
out too. It's
yeah,
dope.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
historic now. It's like because you got the stones in it when
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
powerful.
I heard about it before, and I was just like, yo, I gotta go out and check these joints out because look, man, I didn't get to all the so and so made it, so and so made it. If you go out and look at them, they dope. They were dope. I should
Right.
say they were. It was cool. What it craftsmanship. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It was yeah.
Okay.
You saw them right?
I seen them. Yeah, I ain't seen them in person, but I just seen them
Oh, okay.
online. I
Okay,
never
yeah.
been there. Nah,
Oh,
man.
okay. I thought yeah,
Yeah.
that was right
So
down the street from you.
I know, man. But I didn't learn about it until later after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, okay.
But I always
But
can go to your video and look at it live, baby.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Tell them
Yeah,
what's the
but
name of the song. Tell them so they can know to look
what
at.
it's third eye, third eye,
Third Eye.
third eye. The
Yep.
subatomic third eye. Yep,
Yep.
yep,
Yep.
yep. Um, and like it was it was just interesting seeing the guidestones because and it was funny because the day I was up there recording the video, there was
Hmm.
some Masons. They were like they were like on motorcycles. They were driving from um I think Florida or something like that. No, they think they flew from Florida all the way up there just to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
They're like, yeah, they were Masons, and it was really interesting to to talk to them about why they were intrigued of the guidestones and what they heard about it. You know
They
what I'm
were
saying?
white masons.
Yeah, they were white. Yeah, there was a couple brothers, but it
They
was mainly white ones.
they
Yeah.
say masons a mason created it. That's what they
See
say.
yeah that's what I'm saying. I don't know
That's
who
what they say.
created it, but but
Yeah.
just going there, and I really don't. In all honesty, I don't even care who created it. I thought,
Right.
what I'm saying, I thought they looked cool.
Right. I mean, they had some interesting information on it too,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah,
about the
yeah, yeah.
population control.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
serious business.
See, I'm wondering like which route was because I heard some cats are like, no, they ain't talking about getting rid of people. They talking about if a cataclysm happens, and laws in case you find these godstones that are sitting up there to try to be in tune with nature. So
Okay.
yeah, that's I've heard
Okay.
two sides. Two
Okay.
sides. One like the get rid of them, and one if we have calamities, we need to work together to
Right. on some Walking Dead ish, huh?
Yeah, real talk,
Remember
man.
how
You
all
know what
them
I'm saying?
zombie flicks came out all of a sudden?
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
know,
And
man.
out of Atlanta, the CDC. You know
Yep,
what I
yep,
mean?
yep, 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 yep.
And then the COVID hit.
Yeah, exactly, yo. Man, I like there's a cat Dapu7. He's on YouTube, and he be just breaking down like all the real information, man. I love listening to that dude, man. But
Mhm.
anyway, he he doesn't even call it COVID. He calls it the scam. To me, that's the most hilarious thing. You know, what I'm saying the scam.
Hey, I don't know what it was, but it was something, man. Because me and my family caught it. We didn't take the vaccine, but we caught it. But
Man, I had
it
like three
wasn't
times,
it,
man,
it
at
wasn't
least.
severe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they talk about the seven thunders, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Which one
Yeah.
you think that one
Yeah,
was?
yeah, yeah. Well, you already know. I think we already know that joint was real, but just the intent behind it, I guess,
Oh
in
yeah,
in the quote
and the
unquote,
vaccines.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm just like, I sat back the whole time watching it, like, yo,
You you
is this a movie? Like,
you remember when he told us they was gonna implement the chip through vaccines
yep,
in the 90s.
and it was in the Leviathan
He
book,
told us to
Dr.
stop
York.
taking the flu shot too. I stopped taking the flu shot in the 90s.
hmm
And now this shit.
I tell people all the time, the more and more I look at information that Doc gave us, it's like I was like, was he a time traveler? Like, was he able to see all that stuff like ahead of time? You know what I'm saying?
Let
Just
me
like
let me tell you something
just write it down.
let me tell you something that freaked me out that really made me know like, yo, this shit real. It was
Yeah.
before the Mike Tyson and Holyfield fight, right?
hmm
We was having class probably like a week before. He was telling us about the species of reptilians or cannibals that ate people. And he
hmm
put Mike Tyson up on the screen and he said, check out his eyebrows. His eyebrows are shaped. He's a
hmm
cannibal. He eats flesh. Then the
hmm
next fight is when he bit
Did
Holyfield's
his
ear.
ear?
I was like,
Mm.
oh, you can't make this stuff up, man. People who was
Yeah.
there, they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that, man. It was wild, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's so interesting. Like again, we said, man, like this information now, all these people talking about it, it's
It's funny.
in all these same thing we're talking about these other Bobby Hemmett, what I'm saying, Delbert Blair, man, these cats would
Yeah.
they were dropping it in the
Yeah.
90s, yo.
Dr. Joe
You know?
Pookrum too. Don't forget about
Yeah,
Joe
man.
Pookrum.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yo, they were dropping this
In
information
the
like way back
90s.
then, and like now, all this information they were talking about then is still prevalent.
It
It's
is.
still today,
Yeah.
100%. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We're actually seeing a lot of it now, like the
Yeah.
reality of it now.
hmm
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree. I agree. And see, it kind of gets confused. No, not confusing. That's not the right word. It once you hear something like, okay, the year 2000 is when the devil's rule is over, and because they didn't get their they didn't renew their contract with the
Right.
extraterrestrials. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Right.
And you're like, okay, well, I'm not really seeing anything. But now you look at the today, and it's like you can feel the energy shift. You can see it in the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you could see it in their people.
The
You know what I'm
Karens.
saying?
The Karens.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
birth
yeah.
of the Karens.
But on the flip side, because you remember Doc was talking about the neutrinoids. Remember?
Right. Oh yeah. The Man from
So
Planet Red's book.
yeah,
My
man.
favorite book.
So
The
you
Neutrinoids.
remember he was talking about because now you see people like when you're watching football. Prime example, Lamar Jackson look at like a daggone Olmec. You know what I'm saying? MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's quite obviously they don't want him to be the face of
Right.
NFL.
You know that.
But you go to what's that thing, like Madden game, like I think it's a couple years ago, and you got Tom Brady and you got the quarterback Patrick Mahomes on there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Mhm.
passing the torch. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
See, if you're conscious and aware, you know what's really going on, directions, all this stuff they're telling you right in front of your face.
Right there. And what they
You
say
know?
in plain view,
Yeah,
plain sight.
plain sight.
Yeah, that's how
You
they
know what I'm
operate
saying?
though. That's how they
hmm
operate.
Yep, 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 yep. And you know, and you not only you can see how the system is falling, but once you go outside and like you said, take your quartz, you're eating right, drinking your water, and you feel the way that sun is coming on you today. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to
Um,
mention the sun, man. Like it's a
yeah, man.
different energy now.
It, it
You can feel it, and
bruh,
I
bruh.
love it. I love it. They
It could
driving
be
them
80
crazy.
something degrees. It could be 80 something degrees, and that joint be feeling like 100 because
Yeah,
it's not the heat. It's just
right,
that them UV rays, man.
right,
And like,
right.
you know, I be,
Sun cycle shit, man.
yeah, real talk. And
Yeah.
then I be seeing people. You remember that? I know you be watching some of my posts. You remember that one? Everybody knows that old white lady Jane, whatever her name is, the Jane, whatever name we always talking about
She,
race.
she wear glasses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what
She
I'm talking
always
about.
talking
Yeah,
about white supremacy, white
yeah, yeah.
privilege. Right? Yeah, yeah,
Exactly,
yeah, yeah. She
exactly.
dope
Yeah,
though. She dope.
yeah, yeah. She on it.
She is.
But she was saying something recently and going in like in the line with the Nutrinoid thing. She was kind of like once she said once a ozone, and this is recent. She said that she said once you start to see that ozone layer hit and the UV rays coming in and people that I think she called them the pale skin. That's I think that she called them people who are pale. She said some name like that. And she says and these people start dying off with melanoma. She said melanated people are gonna be in high demand. And what I'm starting to see in my just my personal opinion, what I'm seeing around me, it's like it's a whole shift of not black people being ugly, not wanting to be on TV shows back in the day, and it's the exact opposite because melanin is in.
Sun cycle. He told us they got to mix back in to even survive
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
it makes perfect
hundred
sense.
next 100 years.
Yeah, it makes. I mean,
It's
but
gonna be a whole. It's gonna return to. I ain't mean to cut your wisdom.
no, no, go.
It's gonna return to a whole melanated planet, like
Yeah,
Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. That's what the
yeah,
fear is about. That's what's happening. They are the
yeah.
minority. They are the minority
Well, this it yeah. That's what I was about to say. It already is
already.
a black planet. Like I
You,
said, you traveling around the world unless
you'll
you go
see
like
it. You'll see
but
it.
even if you go to places like Europe, you'll still see
Yeah, see
a
it
lot of
is.
Africans there. You see a lot of people all over the place. So it's it's a very interesting time. And I was on
It
a
is.
live with Dr. Gabriel Hernandez L. And I was telling him I was just like, "Yo, did you think that you would see this time and be a part of it?" You know what I'm saying? I was just he was like, "Yeah, I did." I was like, "I got to be honest." It's like I didn't think I would see this shift and this is just a baby shift.
It is.
We haven't,
Baby shift.
once remember Dr. Double Blair were always saying that the what he always used to say, the earth is graduating from kindergarten and going to
Right.
fifth grade. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And I'm starting to see the science behind that as far as the sun starting to wake up and giving the earth permission to go
Mm.
to the next level
Right. It's
and
a
all of
cycle,
its
baby. It's a
yeah, man.
cycle.
We
It has happened before.
it's yeah, and we're seeing it and we're living it. And I think it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I always wanted to be here to witness it, and I'm glad I'm still here, man.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to be a part of the awakening. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
people that create what we do. We are part of that, and that's why we are here.
yeah,
So those that are listening, you light workers, you pure light beings, um, continue on your mission, man. The time is now. Don't give up. We close. Just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Look how youthful we still look. The immortals.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly,
They do
man.
what you came to do, baby. It's the time is
Yeah.
now, as they say.
Yeah,
Now.
yeah. And just like
Now.
and it's interesting because I've had a lot of healers on. Actually, the Sister Nubian Lifestyle just joined. Is I
Mhm.
just had on a couple podcasts ago, and a lot of these individuals, man, that are coming, it amazes me how many of these people, how much our people are coming back as healers to help heal us these traumatic experiences we had, in our
Mhm.
DNA and our bloodline from, that 400 years, whatever, whatever the
Right.
case, the time frame
Right.
that, a lot of us were terrorized, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we still got that trauma in our, in our
It's
bloodline
passed
from
down
some of,
through generations. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But,
Bloodline, like you said. Yeah. Mhm.
but no, but nowadays, man, you got these brothers and sisters that are taking people, you know what I'm saying, and using the Reiki, the Tantra, all these things, and just healing, man, and the
Yeah.
mushrooms, whatever
Stones.
they get, stones, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
ayahuasca, all the stuff that we've been doing, it's all that stuff is coming back.
It
You
is,
know what I
man.
mean? It's all coming back to our, to. we're us remembering again.
Remembering. That's
You know
all
what I
it is.
mean?
We're
Yeah,
remembering. We were asleep, and now we're waking up. Now it's it's been written.
yeah, yeah. I remember Bobby Hemmett was talking about how in the Hermetic text it talked about our downfall and
Mm,
ultimately our resurrection as well. But
hmm.
it always it's such a because I know you've been the original Tamaray,
Right.
and and you've seen the things there, and it's amazing because for the foresight to be like, what I'm saying, this our children are going to go under for a time frame.
Yeah.
But let's get all this stuff, all this information, write it in stone so you can't, exactly
Yep. They
chisel
left
it
it
out
for us. They left it
and
for
just,
us.
what I'm saying,
Hmm.
just
And
the
we're
just
and
the
we're in that time.
the time, man. You
When
know
you
what I'm
see
saying?
when you see them, it's like automatic reactivation, man. And I recommend, if you can, get out to Kemet just to see, just to touch the pyramid, to go up inside it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was lucky enough to be able to go inside and meditate within the king's chamber, within the sarcophagus, me and my
hmm
wife. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still riding off that energy. You know what I
I was
mean?
going to ask you, what was the most um, mind blowing thing you saw experience when you were
That
in Kemet?
that was it. Because for a long time, all I wanted to do was go inside the Great Pyramid and meditate within the sarcophagus, and I did it. You know what I mean? When I did it, I went straight to triple stage darkness.
Mm,
You follow what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it was two priests that guard the chamber all the time. No telling how old these cats were really though, but they look young. But they was in there, and they allowed me extra time. They usually don't even let people get up in there like that. They allowed us like 25 minutes apiece up in there and
They
be in
knew.
there. Yeah.
You think
And
they knew?
yeah, I had the I had the crystal on. I charged my crystal on the wall, you know, and I'm trying to talk to them about the knowledge, but they stopped people from coming in and allowed us to do our thing, man. That was the only reason I went there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Another thing that really, I was in the temple of just went blank. Hold on, the temple of the Sphinx. When I
hmm
first got in there, and when I put my hand on the wall, the chant Om, the Ra appeared in my mind's eye like a bubble cartoon, like full color. Like it just shocked the hell out of me. Like, oh,
Mm.
like, you know what I'm saying? You can catch a glimpse of that on my video, Back to Pyramid. When you see me doing this, I'm chanting Om. That's when that is occurring, man. It's like that let me know too. Like, okay, yeah, this is real.
What about the architecture? Like what architecture wise? Like what is
Well,
it when you looked at it? What yeah.
well, I didn't get to go to Luxor this time. That's where all the statues and things are at.
Okay.
We were in Giza, so it's not many statues in Giza. It's just the
hmm
pyramids, and
Gotcha.
it's nothing etched in pyramids. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Not in the Great Pyramid, at least. The third one, the smaller one, it was a tomb, a temple, and it had hieroglyphs in it, but I didn't make it in that one. When I went to Zakar step pyramid that Zoza built,
I was gonna ask you.
it was hieroglyphs on that, and I showed the hieroglyphs on the video too, back to pyramid. So, but seeing
Mhm.
that, man, and touching them stones, like, you know how big the stone.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
mind blowing just to even stand there, just to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I met some good people, like, because some Arabs don't really like us like that over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't even
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
wear my headdress. I had a pharaoh headdress to go.
And that was.
It's about to lock me up if I wouldn't take it off.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they told
Yeah.
us we couldn't film. They made us delete a lot of stuff, but we snuck and filmed the video through the whole thing. Yeah, they was on it like that. When they know who you are, and you know if you know, they don't like
Yeah.
that shit at
They
all.
yeah. They ain't. They
But
ain't. They
the
ain't.
darker brothers over there, they was like, yo, welcome home, welcome
The
home.
Nubians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they thought I was from Sudan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But they was good people though. I met some good people. Peace, shout out to my man Islam Muhammad. If you ever go to Giza, reach out to me and I'm gonna connect you with Islam. Islam was our tour guide, and he got us the Egyptian prices and not the tour prices. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. Peace,
Yeah.
Islam.
You, when you were just talking, I lost my train of thought. You were just
It's
talking
all
about
good.
um you were just talking about the archi oh that's what I was gonna say. The closest I've ever been to that was I went to the British Museum because you
Oh
already
yeah,
know they be stealing our
yeah. They
stuff,
got
and I
all
saw the
that over there.
artifacts there. Yo, man, the stuff that I saw that they have a bust there, um, it is humongous. and it's like on this huge thing, and you look up, you know, the stuff that I just saw there, man. I still just touching that
Mm-hmm.
granite, the granite,
Mm-hmm.
man, and
Yeah,
just the this the oh,
I know. I'm telling you, you got to make that pilgrimage over there too,
yeah, I
and,
am
and it's
next
reasonable
year.
too. So it's not even that expensive like that. My
Yeah,
wife and I we paid like maybe 2,500 all together.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Round
yeah,
trip,
yeah, yeah,
6 days. Just holler at
yeah.
me and I'll turn you on to who you need to connect with.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. You know what I'm saying? You know me, man. I'm the Black Indiana Jones, man.
I
I be,
know. I already know.
I'm going to goddamn I'm gonna make. I already got like two two more trips in the near future that I'm going to see some Olmecan
Oh, word.
slash Mayan pyramids down in
Ooh.
yeah, because I went to Teotihuacan and I got hooked seeing those pyramids down there.
Pyramids of the sun.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And go, Chichen Itza and all them places, like, all those places, I'm hooked now on that Olmecan slash Mayan culture. You know what I'm saying?
it's calling you.
Yeah,
Ke-
definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Quetzalcoatl is calling
Quetzalcoatl.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Shahuti?
Yeah,
That's his
exactly,
Semitic
exactly.
name. You know that,
There you
right?
go. Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So you,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
It's
gonna be sweet.
yeah, it's beautiful seeing that and once you go to some of these tours, if you talk to the right people, some of those people, they be knowing some, they be
They
knowing some
do.
stuff, yeah, yeah,
They
they be
do.
knowing some. They'll if you ask the right questions to the right persons, you can get the right answers. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I
Right.
like as well. You know what I'm
We
saying?
unfortunately we didn't have a tour guide or not. We just went off grid on our own, man. And
Hmm.
some people say we was crazy for the places we was at by ourselves. Nobody knew where we was at. We could
Oh,
have got
you talking about
maybe
Egypt?
we could have got killed, man. Anybody know where we was at, man? We
Where
was,
you at?
but the
Egypt, huh?
ancestors was guiding me though. That's your cat.
Yeah, yeah.
What is
Rock,
it? A he or she?
it's a she, Raquela. She's
Raquel.
Rocco. Yeah, yeah. She Rocco was the boy version of her, the
Okay.
black cat. You know how us musicians have to have the black cat around. So,
Right. Yeah, she had to let
so
her presence be felt too. She said, let
oh
me
yeah,
see
yeah,
what's
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
What's up, Raquel?
Yeah,
Peace.
Raquela. Raquela, say hi to the world. What up,
Raquel.
Raquela?
Raquel.
Yeah. So my other homeboy Rocco died, so we got another
Okay.
one, Raquela. So she's the girl version of Rocco.
Okay. Okay.
So we started talking Kemet, and she
And
always
she
when we
popped
talk
up.
Kemet, she always
Bassett,
comes up.
yeah.
That's it.
Boss, yeah.
Ain't that
They
right,
can see
Raquel?
into the higher dimensions, the other dimensions too. They're like uh they like at the gate, they can see,
Hmm.
keep let you know what's going on, protectors
Yeah.
too.
When I used to do Pa Shatat, um, Rocco would wait till I was done, and then he'd sit right next to the prayer rug after I
Oh
was done,
yeah, they know what's going on.
like clockwork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely know what's
Amazing,
going on.
man. Amazing, amazing. As she smacks her tail on my keyboard. Hey, come on, Raquel.
So make sure you send me some of that new music you working on, man.
Yeah, yeah, I will. I will. It's going to be it's going to be it's going to be known. That's just the easiest way I'm going
Okay.
to put it. It's going to be, because I look at like all the stuff that all the time that we've done all this stuff is like we know it now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We damn near
Masters of it.
masters of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm these next projects that this project I come out with next is going to be and of course I'm, going to put out my second book as well. So, you know,
Send me that link too. I'm definitely gonna cop that book.
yeah, I
That's
sent it
that's
to you.
that's powerful, baby. Congrats.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, man. You just when you can go online, just look at the cover. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? When you get a chance, just look at the cover, and you'll you'll understand once you look at the cover.
Right,
That's
right.
that's
I
all I
got
gotta
you.
say. You know what
Got
I'm
it
saying?
coded, huh? Okay, I can dig it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the way, all the way.
As you
But yeah,
should.
man. Yes, indeed. But yeah, man. That's it, bro. That's like, you got anything else you want to build on? Tell people where they can find your music, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can go to amunramusic.net. That's AMUNRA music.net. You can get all the music. It's streaming everywhere, but the streams, man, I got 1 million streams like 2 weeks ago, man. I only made 33 bucks. So
I
if
saw
you
that.
if y'all could just go to the site and get it from the artist, man, we would highly appreciate it. We could we could get the money right from y'all. So amunramusic.net, or my Bandcamp page, amun-ra.bandcamp.com. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you see Amun-Ra, expect some good metaphysical music, some conscious hip hop that's going to awaken you. That's my
Hmm.
purpose on the planet, is to help enlighten our people. And that's what it is, man. Or you can just Google Amun-Ra, Athens, Georgia, or Atlanta, Georgia. Everything's going to come up. You know what I'm saying?
My brother, it was a pleasure, and I'm definitely down to do a song with you like we talked about
Oh, yeah,
before. We're gonna
definitely.
yeah. I'm definitely down with that, man.
Let's do it.
Like you doing the live thing performing. I ain't gonna front. I gotta what do you call it, knock off the cobwebs a little bit, but you know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying.
right,
It's
right.
just
Yeah.
like riding a bike. It's just like
Yeah, I
riding a
know.
bike.
I just
You know
got to
what
get
I'm saying?
one show under my belt, and I'll be back ready. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because it's time right now, baby. It's
yeah,
time to
yeah.
you know what I
I know
mean?
that's right. I know that's
It
right.
is, man.
Yeah,
Also,
man.
I got a podcast too, Pure Energy Transmissions podcast, composed of my wife and I, Ali. Y'all, you can catch it on YouTube, and that's YouTube Amun the number 09. Check that out.
All
You
right.
know what I mean?
All right. Well, another wonderful episode. I appreciate your time, brother. You know what I'm
I give
saying? We
thanks.
definitely, if you don't mind, hopefully you'd like to come back on and we can build
Yeah,
some more,
of
man.
course, man. I love this, man. It's like talking to my friend, man, because that's what
Yeah,
you are. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I
You know what
know,
I mean?
man. It's
Long time coming.
yeah, man. It's very easy to build and
Right.
communicate, you know what I'm saying, with
You,
individuals like you, man. So I
you
appreciate
know
that as well.
you know what it is.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna say, if you haven't already, go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com, pick up my book,
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Bicultural, you living and leaving the world of illusions. You see, can you, Amaran, can you see what's under the Zosa right there? Can you see? It's the
I
Black
can't.
Mirror.
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, that's what's
You
up.
like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it, my brother. Everybody, Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast, please like, follow, and share this information. You know what I'm saying? This podcast. Go to YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Because we're gonna keep on hitting great individuals like this, great guests. You know what I'm saying? And bringing this right knowledge to the people. So peace and love to everybody out there, and we out of here.
Hotep, stay safe on your travels, man. Watch them people.
Yeah, I know that's the truth. All right,
All right.
peace, Jason.
Peace. Hotep.
What's up? What I do?
Radu.